Hey everyone, this is Jory here, coming at you with another best ball draft. Again, going to be sharing content throughout the summer. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump into an underdog draft. Since the Puppy 2 just recently launched, we're going to go ahead and do one of those. All right, let's see if we can get one going here. We got two more left, so this should fill. And yep, it filled. So I'm drafted from the 7th spot, so we'll see how this will go. Again, Underdog is going to be it's half point PPR, so a little bit of a different strategy. So this one is the Puppy, 75K to first. So they had dropped one earlier in the summer. Probably will drop one more. But we'll go ahead and see how this goes. Go ahead and queue up some guys. Let's see. Sometimes I can get Stephon Diggs this position as well. Let's see what we can get here. Maybe Austin Eckler. I don't have a lot of Austin Eckler. I don't have a lot of them, but we shall see. Jonathan Taylor goes first, so that's some usual. Chris McCaffrey is gaining some steam. Usually at the start of the summer it was Cooper Kupp. Now Christian McCaffrey, since he's healthy and people are like kind of building steam on him, he's going two. Sometimes he's been going one. So I mean, yeah, if he can stay healthy, he's definitely going to have a big year. Austin Eckler went fourth. A little shocker there. I haven't seen him go early sometimes, but usually after these first five have been kind of set with like McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor, Chris McCaffrey, Kupp, Jefferson, and Chase, and every now and again there's some kind of variation. Okay, so I am going to take Jamar Chase. I mean, I don't usually he doesn't fall to the 7th spot, but I'm gonna go ahead and take him. And then Diggs went right after. So look at how the board's looking right now. Derrick Henry just went, so I'll be up at 18. I'm kind of in the middle of this draft where it's not always the best spot, but we're gonna make the most of it. See what we can get. So Mixon just went. And I'll keep the board up around. So Mixon, Travis Kelce. See what we got going on the turn. So CeeDee Lamb and Mike Evans. So two receivers there, two high volume receivers. Not bad picks at all. Good. That's a good 1-2 start there. Aaron Jones just went some up in the next few picks, so let me see who I have that's available. DeAndre Swift, Jamar. So let's see. I see Devontae Adams is falling. It's a little shocking there. He just went. So I'm gonna take Saquon. there. Very high on Saquon. Saquon's just run into some bad injury history. Really, as a prospect, he was fine. I mean, he had really no injury history at Penn State. He just kind of ran into some bad luck with injuries, but still young, still super explosive. So New York's O line has gotten better, definitely improved in this offseason and through the draft. So taking Evan Neal. So uh, hopefully Saquon can bounce back to his ways in the that he was his rookie season, because he still does have that explosion. Just kind of run into some bad luck, some injuries. So I'll be picking for first next. So let's just go ahead and get some guys I'm interested in there. I'll do more here too. Let's see how that turns out. So Fournette, Debo, Tyree just went off the board. Let's see. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. Those guys they're going back to back. It's a good time to kind of get them because they're going so close in ADP to where it's like if you want to, it's really difficult to double stack them this year. It's really the only way you can, just taking them, kind of reaching on them a little bit. But I mean, if you're trying to get a Charger stack, that's the way to do it because they're right behind each other in ADP. So AJ Brown just went. Okay. Let's watch how these last couple picks. I've kind of got my anchor here, so I'll probably just go heavy receiver for these next few rounds. I have James Conner. He just went. Actually, might if Alvin Kamara is still kind of dipping like this, I might get some shares of him. But we'll see. Okay, so I'm up, so I'm just gonna take Michael Pittman since I have him there. He's gonna be the alpha number one receiver in Indianapolis, and they're getting a quarterback upgrade there with Matt Ryan. So I have a lot of him, like taking him there, and I have a lot of them throughout the summer. I'm going to continue to take him if he's available to me. Okay, so Josh Allen went right after, then Kyle Pitts, and Keith Brown. All right, let me kind of tee up some guys. I'm going to be picking at 42. Let's see here. So I'm not going to do the best range. Just take some guys I like. CTN just went. I think Gabe Davis is going a little bit early. But I'll just see what's available. Corey Sutton just went. There's a little gap between him and Jerry Jeudy, but it's kind of either way. It's not that big of a gap. It's just pretty much almost around. But I've gotten a lot of Jerry Jeudy. I've tried to get some Cortland Sutton to kind of balance that out. I love Denver's offense. I think they're going to be explosive, but it's just about kind of bouncing out the shares of Sutton and Jeudy because one of them is going to go off. Hopefully two, but hopefully they both get 1,000 yards. We'll see what happens. George Kittle just went. Let's see. Justin Herbert went a little early. So so I'm gonna take Terry McLaurin now that I know I'm gonna kind of uh, jump. I know I had these guys queued up, but they'll probably both be gone. But just again, trying to get at least at the top as many of the high volume pass catchers in offense. And I think I got three. Obviously, Jamar Chase is there with T Higgins, but T Higgins did have more targets, but not that it's a thing. But Jamar Chase is just a better receiver. Like T Higgins is really good, but you had Jamar Chase who just stepped in the league and is already one of the best guys. So I know they were kind of splitting hairs and as far as targets, and he was more targeted. But I mean, if Jamar Chase is taking 3-yard slants and taking them 80 yards like that, that's what he has. That I don't think T Higgins has, even though T Higgins I think he's really good. But there's just a part of Jamar Chase's game that does that. Oh, I'm already almost up. This is a range I like with receivers here. So I think so. Yeah, I've got a nice round. So this is a kind of a great area. Jerry Judy's kind of falling. That's a little bit surprising. So these are all kind of guys I like. I'm going to take. It's tough, just because I'm going to take Darnell Mooney. Just because I am really high on. Justin Fields. I think he's one of the latest quarterbacks going that has legit upside to be a quarterback one with his rushing ability. And so I try and get as much of them as I can, especially with guys like Lamar and Kyler and Jalen Hurts, just guys that just have high floor because of their rushing ability. And Justin Fields has that. So I try to kind of match those guys up as much as I can because he's going to be the alpha, number one wide receiver in that room. I think I pretty much, Jamar Chase has a chance to lead a team again, lead them in receiving. But when you look at Michael Pittman, Terry McLaurin, and Darnell Mooney, those are definitely all wide receiver ones on their team. So clear cut. There's really no arguing about that. And they all have week 14 buys, the dreaded week 14. So it sucks, but we'll make something happen. We'll make something. So we're kind of entering a kind of a weird area here. So kind of a dead area running backs, in my opinion. I mean, I like Elijah Mitchell and AJ Dillon, but I like Aaron Jones so much more just because of the passing I think he'll be involved in. And then just kind of hear with some of these wideouts. But kind of continue with the theme. I'm talking about just getting alpha one. I'm going to take Amari Cooper. Obviously, there's a lot of ambiguity around who's going to be playing quarterback there. But again, just trying to get as many wide receivers there is. I mean, just Sean's hearing concluded, last week, and I know the league initially pushed for, the year indefinite suspension or what have you. There, I'd be shocked. I'll just say I'll be shocked if he's suspended the whole season. I mean, I just don't. I don't think they're gonna. I don't think that's how it's gonna end up. And there's some rumblings that he'll probably see the field. So until I hear different, I'll just take Amari Cooper if he's there, and then if not, I'll just I can definitely back off. But again, just getting wide receiver ones, just getting as many wide receiver ones who's going to command a lot of the target share is usually my goal. Really on the either side, just because they have those high ceiling games usually come from the receiver position. So I just try and find as many as I can. And Cleveland's situation is a little different because that's more of a rushing type offense. But Amari's going to be the guy. So again, I'll just right now take it and see what's happening. I don't have a lot of Amari, so we'll see what happens. Chris Godwin just went. No, I thought you would come back to me, but it's all good. This might turn out to be a 3-quarterback team, which is fine. I usually try to keep it to 2, but it's all good. But you know what? Since I'm kind of in this area, I don't love any of the receivers or anything. I'm just gonna go ahead and take Trey Lance because again, getting those quarterbacks with the high rushing ability floor, and then again, if I can get I could possibly keep this as a 2-quarterback team if I can get Justin Fields, but if not, again, I got some options. So Brandon, I went right after him, but that's okay. I got some options late in the draft where I can single stack them. Usually I don't this year I haven't really I've kind of eased up a little bit on I do correlate, but I've kind of eased up as opposed to last year doing a lot of like double and triple and just like full out team stacks. I'll usually just, especially with rushing quarterbacks, I'll usually just try to keep it to, at least single there. So let's look at the board. Brady, Trey Lance, yes, and see, I don't know that necessarily Trey Lance should go to Tom Brady. I have a lot of Tom Brady and kind of Tom Brady Mike Evans combos, but again, that rushing floor is just it's so valuable, especially on half point PPR sites where there's not like a ton of 300-yard bonuses. You want to get that. You want to capture all that rushing floor for these quarterbacks. All right, so I'm going to take. I don't have a lot of Antonio Gibson here with the 0 RB. I'm just going to go ahead and take Antonio Gibson. I know I haven't gotten a lot of him, but he's kind of becoming a value right now. So I'm going to go ahead and take him. Almost 20 spots after ADP. Just there's a lot of ambiguity in that backfield, and they bought McKissick back, and they drafted a 3rd-round running back. So obviously it's kind of muddies the water a little bit as they're playing for Antonio Gibson, but they did upgrade the quarterback room. Whatever your thoughts are, Carson Wentz, he is better than Taylor Heineke. So they did at least upgrade their quarterback room, and they tried. I mean, there was a report that they literally called every team to see what it would cost for their quarterback. So they tried. They came back with Carson Wentz. That's all you can ask for. Some guys are untradeable. They're just untradeable. So you do what you can. So I'll give them credit for that. And then result is they did upgrade the room. So. But yeah, getting Antonio and guy like Antonio Gibson in round 8, I'll take that. Because he does have big playability. I wish they would throw him the ball because he makes big plays. So I don't know what they're doing with him, but so I'm going to be 103, 114, 127. So let me see. So I've got 2 running backs, 5. I'm probably going to turn this into a 3 tight end team because if I don't get one of the lead tight ends early, I just kind of not necessarily punt it, but there are some guys late that have some upside. So I just kind of wait that out. So in this round, I just kind of get a lot. I'm going to take Devin Singletary. He's kind of just taking that. He's taking that role. He's kind of taken that backfield over late last season, and it looks like he's. I know they drafted James Cook just to improve their passing game out of the backfield. I still think Devin Singletary is going to lead that backfield and be heavily involved. So, like where he's going. So I'll just go ahead and I get a lot of him because he's kind of like a great kind of zero RB type build running back in that range, round 9 on the Buff. You're starting running back on the Buffalo Bills offense. That's a great place to be, especially getting him around 9. So Darrell Patterson just went, so I'll be up at 114. Queue some guys up here. I like Patrick. He's kind of been someone that's a good value. I'll probably end up just taking Justin Fields if he comes back, or Smith. Let's go tag some guys out like. Okay. Oh, yeah, so Spiller there. Jahan Dotson is gaining some steam, looked good in mini camp. So we'll see. I'll just kind of round that out for now. There's a run on running backs going. So Patterson, Harrison, Patrick just went. Like I said, he's getting steamed up pretty good. He was he's a good 10th round pick. So he's starting to gain some steam. He was going in like round 11. I want to say a few weeks ago. Monday Stevenson, that's a good round 10 pick. I've been getting a lot of him as well. Don't really know what's going on with the Patriots offense, but I kind of warmed up, especially with James White still being out, Ramondre Stevenson kind of been talked about kind of having like a bigger role. So he fell to me. So completing this Chicago combination, I'm just going to go ahead and take Justin Fields to pair him with Darnell Mooney and complete that. Here again, he's going as quarterback 16, but he has, with his rushing, legit wide receiver 1 upside. Like, again, I don't love his. Outside of Mooney, don't love the supporting cast. I don't think they did a lot to help him in that area, but again, just his running ability. He does have a big arm. They just have to get the right game plan around him, and I think sky's the limit for him. And I'm just trying to get as much as I can because, like, getting a quarterback with his rushing floor in round 10, it's just there's just nobody else there like him. So a bunch of pocket guys. There's going to be a bunch of Matt Ryans and Carson Wentz is late, Ryan Tannehill's, but just a guy like Justin Fields just shouldn't be going this late. And so while he is, I'm trying to get as much of him as I can before camp and preseason starts and he breaks off a long run or something and gets streamed up. So that's exactly what happened last year, but they just didn't do right. But no more Andy Dalton there, so it's going to be his show. So Farmouth or Smith just went. Let's see who I have from 127. Gallup, not taking him. He is rehabbing. Marcus Landry just went. So where did I go? Actually, I'm going to kind of pivot there and take Jacoby Myers just because I know their wide receiver room is getting kind of jammed, but Uh, Jacoby Myers was their target leader, and uh, he just didn't get in the end zone. He just kind of had bad luck with touchdowns, but I think that'll regress, and he will find the end zone. So I'm gonna go there. I know I kind of had Rondo more teed up, but I just in my mind just was like, let me get you Jacoby Myers. I do take a lot of Kendrick Bourne, but even though they added all those pieces, I still think Jacoby Myers, Kendrick Bourne are still going to be the guys. Hunter Henry, like those guys that built rapport with Mac Jones last year. I think they'll still be the guys. Devontae Parker might be in the mix, but I don't know. We'll see. And these guys might come back to me. We'll see. Whatever I got queued up. If not, I'll find. I'll find somebody else. Daniel Jones just went. Damian Pierce. I tried the Daniel Jones experiment last year. Did not work. I will not. I do not have any of them. Do not plan on having any Daniel Jones. I've seen all I need to see of him. I know they switched up their coaching staff. I know their line's a little bit better. I know um, Dable has been as labeled as his quarterback was for now that he's going to save Daniel Jones. I just I don't see it when it just comes down to it just comes down to talent, man, and it doesn't take I don't know, hurt or something. No, I'm taking Rondo more than I don't know why he's falling, but I will gladly take the dip. I'm not buying the dip. And Cole Komet winner. I know I could have double stacked with winning Komet. I just went ahead and uh, took who I think who's gonna lead there. Lead him in yards. I have a lot of those, so I'm just gonna focus on kind of single stacking some of these. All right, so I'm up again. Let's see, 151. Jameson Williams just went. Damn, I thought he was gonna make it back. Jameis Winston. Jameson Williams is interesting because I mean he's up running. He looks a lot more smoother than uh, most would look coming off of a torn ACL, and then his doctor said that his injuries was not. So all of them are kind of different, and his wasn't as bad as some others are. So he was already up running, and so he probably won't be ready for the start of the year. But if he comes back, let's say like week 5, week 6, full speed, it's going to be a great pick. Um, so I got Jalen Justin Fields done at quarterback. Saquon, Antonio Gibson, Singletary, nice receivers, and then I need to get a tight end, but I'll kind of punt that and go 3 later. I'm gonna go running back here. I'm gonna take Gus Edwards because now there are some reports that he could be ready for camp. I think it's better news for Gus Edwards as compared to J.K. Dobbins as far as like their recovery. And I don't know. It just kind of just things I've been reading. They say he might be able to come back. I don't necessarily know um, if that's the same for J.K. Dobbins. That's why J.K. Dobbins is going so early to where it's like they're almost 100 spots difference. So I'm like, well, I'll just and when they're both healthy. Now, last year, 2 years ago, they were running like a 60-40 split. So in that case, if they're on a 60-40 split with the guy going over 100 picks after, I'll take the guy that's going much later. And Gus Edwards is super efficient uh, running the ball, so I'll just take him. Davis Price is when I'd like that pick as well. Um, Davis Price. I kind of talked about this, but Darren Davis Price, I think because San Francisco has just kind of bailed. It seems like on the uh, what you call it, the Trey Sermon. They feel like they got that. I feel like they know they got that wrong. Um, but Jared Davis Price is a different type of athlete. He's bigger than Trey Sermon, bigger than Elijah Mitchell, and has 4.4 speed. So I think he'll be in the mix. I need to take a so Higby available. He just went, and then no fan. That's going to be my pick. So I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to take a tight end. Maybe Evan Ingram. I know I'm reaching a little bit, but I just have to get that position solidified. I'm going to get some later, drawing some later tight ends. And maybe I might take Njoku if he comes back. Kate Otton's one I like. I know Cameron Brate got streamed up a lot. Got streamed, as soon as Gronk announced his retirement. I had some early shares of Cameron Brate when he was just like the last pick and nobody was taking him. But now, he's getting taken around, 170-ish. Now he's getting taken, in the 15th round. I'm not taking him there, but have some early shares of him from earlier in the summer before Gronk announced retirement. But he is older, so I'm gonna go with the. I'm gonna start working on some Kate Otten shares if I can. Again, yeah, if I don't get like a lead tight end at start, like a Kyle Pitts or Travis Kelce, guys like that, I'll just punt the position. And I was gonna go Noah Fant, but I got sniped. Not really sniped. I mean, it's just I thought he was gonna, he went a little bit ahead of ADP by an experienced guy, so Noah Fant. So I like where Noah Fant's going. I'm trying to get a lot of them. So we shall see. We shall see. I'm gonna put in my just so I remember to draft him. Maybe my single stack with Trey Lance there. Since I'm not live doing this, I'll just go ahead. Nobody's watching me, so I'll just go ahead and queue up some guys. Wasn't there wide as well, so let's queue up some guys that I like. Jones too. So we'll see. There's all these guys are left, and I'll just take my pickings from here. I might just reach and take. Paris Campbell just went. I might reach on Austin Hooper just because. Yeah, because Njoku just went. So I'm going to go ahead and take Austin Hooper, and I mean Austin Hooper can legitimately. You see, he's building rapport. He can be their wide receiver leader. So because Robert Woods is still rehabbing, don't know when he'll be full strength, and there's been so many negative reports about Treylon Burks. Now I don't know, I'm not reading too much into it currently, but like if that stuff, if he's just unavailable and he's having trouble adjusting, then I mean Austin Hooper is going to be their leading. Can really lead their team in receiving. He got the big contract going to Cleveland because of his success in Atlanta and Matt Ryan throwing to him. So he can do it, and he just wasn't working in Cleveland. All these guys got, man. Baker Mayfield got all these guys got out of Cleveland. Odell, Jarvis, Hooper, all they bought all that talent. Now they're all gone. So we shall see. All right, so come on back. Davis Mills. Davis Mills is interesting. He's another interesting quarterback that's going late. Just looking at where he finished at like some of the rookie ranks, he was like at the top of all of them. And then it was one of the situations where it was just a bad situation in Houston because Deshaun was still there, and then they had Tyrod still starting. So now this year, all that's out of the way. He's coming in as the number one guy. He knows it. The team knows it, so they can just build with him. So he's a sneaky guy to take late if you get an elite quarterback and punt. He's an interesting guy to take later. Drafts. DuVernay's another receiver. I think I'm only going to take one more receiver because I need to take. Because I waited so long tight end. I'll probably need to take 3 tight ends, so I'll probably just hold that last receiver position there. I've got my running backs. I got Saquon, Antonio Gibson, Singletary, Gus. I like that. 6. I have a lot of Deontay Foreman. If I don't get Christian McCaffrey, I take a lot of him. I'm interested in possibly taking Zamir White. A lot of Chris. I have a lot of Foreman. I'm gonna take Zamir White. Just because this staff, I know Josh Jacobs is going to be the guy. I just don't know how sold on them they're going to be because they declined his 5th-year option, so that's one. And then Josh McDaniels I feel like he's bringing kind of that New England style. And there was a quote that he said where he was just going to kind of let them kind of the guy that's hot kind of roll. And then they took Zamir White early in the 4th round. I'm not early, but they took him in the 4th round as they did use draft capital on him. So that's the guy that they bought in. And so when you have a guy that they've already declined his option, so they're not re-signing him unless he just has like a monster season, wins them back over. But I don't foresee that happening. It could, but I think Zamir White's going to get some opportunities, especially later in the season. And maybe earlier, hopefully. We'll see. So I think I'm set here at quarterback. Probably going to be set here at running back. Getting some guys that are the leads in their backfield, and then Gus, and then Zamir White. Hopefully getting some. Like I've taken a lot of Deontay Foreman. I'm kind of easing up on that because I do have a lot of them. So I'll probably spend these last spots on. I'll take him off. I'll spend these last spots on tight end and receiver. I'm gonna need to give me 3 tight ends on this team. Probably if I was thinking I could have probably possibly taken Deshaun Watson, but I could probably attach from this team. But no, because I need 3 tight ends, I'm gonna use my 3 on there. But okay, so I'm gonna take. Take Ali Cox. That'll be again. He'll be. I know I already have Michael Pittman, but he's going to be the. Seems like with Jack Joel retiring, he's going to be the number 1 tight end there. I know they drafted a tight end. I'll take K-Dog off. I'll take Jordan Lockout done at tight end, but it seems like he's going to be he's going to be the guy. So having Matt Ryan there will definitely help him. and then I have Michael Pittman already, so just having Indy's passing game there, I like that. Yeah, I got my 2 mobile quarterbacks, so kind of like how this team is shaping out. Because I like to have a lot of 2 quarterback teams. I will go 3 quarterback teams sometimes if they go late, but um, Lance was kind of there, and then they're kind of easy to build stacks with. Another thing that I like to do, I don't always like force this, but just making sure I get some week 17 correlation. And so I usually my teams will have some form of like, I know the teams like Cincinnati, Buffalo, um, San Fran, and Las Vegas. I believe Dallas and Tennessee, Denver, KC. I have a lot of Denver and KC, so I have a lot of different variations of that. So I'm trying to kind of ease up on it just a little bit, just to get some uniqueness there. Let's see, so Brian Edwards, Romeo Dubs. I was getting a lot of him early in the summer. I've kind of cooled off just because I just had a lot of shares of him early because he's still going late draft, but he's got a chance to break into that Green Bay passing offense. So they really don't all their target, everything is gone in Devontae Adams. So any of those guys can step up. I'll be next after this. All right, and Brian Robinson went. So I'm going to take Jawan Jennings, complete this single stack with Trey Lance, and then I've got my week 17 correlation there with San Francisco and Las Vegas. And then I do have Buffalo, Cincinnati with Singletary and Chase, but we'll see how that game turns out. I believe Cleveland and Washington play too, so even Antonio Gibson, McLaurin, and Mark. So I don't. It's not always like at the forefront of my mind, but if you're just doing drafts, like they can kind of naturally fall to you. So that is it. Picking from the 7th spot. So I'll kind of review. This is kind of how the board's looking. Kind of. This will be finished off with these last 3 picks. These are all good picks. Benjamin's, I've been picking a lot of him. Devin Duvernay as well. I've been when I take Lamar, sometimes I don't get Rashad Bateman because they're going close to AVP as well. But getting Devin Duvernay is good because they're going to need a number 2 receiver, even though it seems like they're going to be focused on running the football. That's why I took Gus Edwards. At some point, they're going to have to throw the ball. So I think they'll be leaning on that, but you'll still have the passing game. And Zay Jones. All right, so that is it. You see, I kind of got my teams there. Let me refresh. All right, so again, Trey Lance, Justin Fields getting my 2 mobile quarterbacks. Saquon, this hero RB strategy, or 0 RB Saquon, and then kind of getting Antonio Gibson on almost 20 picks after ADP, then Singletary, Gus Edwards, and that seemed to be run heavy offense, and Zamir White with Vegas. Again, loaded at wide receiver, Jamar Chase, Michael Pittman, Terry McLaurin, Darnell Mooney, Amari Cooper. Jamar Chase, again, being there with T. Higgins, but, he's still falling out of the top 5, so went ahead and got him. And then Michael Pittman, McLaurin, Mooney, Cooper, definitely kind of those number 1 guys on their team. And then Evan Ingram going to Jacksonville, Austin Hooper can be number 1, and Mo Alley Cox hopefully being that guy in Indy. So there's the board. All right, so that is it. So thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for tuning in, watching, checking this out. Again, like, subscribe, comment some of the guys that you like. Let me know how I did, where I could improve on my picks. And again, let me know some of the guys that you're targeting and some of your favorite game stacks towards the playoffs. And see you around for another stream.